President Tinubu directs immediate reopening of Niger border. 10 abducted victims rescued in Zamfara as troops disband bandits. 2 children killed in Borno IDP camp fire. On the international scene, 4 dead following Storm Filippo in Mozambique. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust Television at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us, and now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has directed the opening of Nigeria's land and air borders with the Republic of Niger, as well as the lifting of other sanctions against the country with immediate effect. A statement from the president's spokesman, Ajuri Ngalale, says the directive is in compliance with the decisions of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government at its extraordinary summit on February 24, 2024 in Abuja. ECOWAS leaders had agreed to lift economic sanctions against the Republic of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea. President Tinubu has also approved the lifting of financial and economic sanctions against the Republic of Guinea. The House of Representatives has expressed concern that the suspension of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Betta Edu, has halted the implementation of the Social Investment Program. Following deliberations on the floor of the Green Chambers on Wednesday, the lawmakers expressed worry that halting these humanitarian programs at a time of increasing hunger and inflation is not good for the country, as the masses who need intervention the most are suffering. The House further asserted that it is disturbed by the recommendation that the Social Investment Program is to be managed by the Minister of Finance, Olawale Edun. The House, while describing the move as an anomaly, urged the federal government to expedite investigations regarding the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. And out to the Red Chambers, the Nigerian Senate on Wednesday met with the Commissioner, Federal Capital Territory Police Command, and FCT Minister over the surge in kidnappings and heightened insecurity within the FCT and its environs. The development is sequel to a motion by the lawmaker representing Delta North Senatorial District, Ned Nwoko, on the Galadimawa kidnap incident that led to the death of one of his senior legislative aide. As part of the Senate's resolutions, the upper legislative chamber invited the Minister of FCT and the Commissioner of Police for the FCT Police Command to give detailed security briefings in a closed session on the current security situation in the Federal Capital Territory. More on security matters, troops of the Joint Task Force Operation Hadarin Daji have rescued 10 abducted victims in Safe town of Safe local government area of Zamfara State following a successful disbandment of their hideout. Information Officer Operation Hadarin Daji in Zamfara, Lieutenant Suleiman Omale, said in a statement on Wednesday that the troops displayed remarkable valor and dedication during the operation, resulting in the dispatching of the bandits. Omale said the OPHD team had responded to a distress call on the night of March 12, 2024, and had engaged the bandits in a fierce gun duel upon arrival in Safi town. He added that the troops overpowered the bandits, forcing them to flee with gunshot wounds through a rocky bush, abandoning all 10 abducted individuals. Omale noted that during subsequent mop-up patrols in the area, the troops intercepted and successfully rescued all the 10 victims and reunited them with their families. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has reiterated commitment of the police to ensuring the safe rescue of all abducted students, school children from Kuriga in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. The IGP, who stated this when he visited the state following the kidnap incident, also assured that perpetrators would be made to face justice. Trust TV's Bella Musa has more.
IGP Egbetokun pledges maximum support to ensure the abducted school children are released safely. The IGP further promised to deploy a mobile police unit to the affected community to launch a special intervention squad across the 23 local government areas of the state to allay the fears and build confidence of Kaduna residents, especially those in the rural communities.
This is not the time to make comments about this. It is time to get into action to ensure that we do everything possible to ensure the safe return of these abducted children.
On his part, the Kaduna State Governor Ubasani also promised to give the police force maximum support as the quest to release the recently kidnapped pupils intensify.
We'll do everything to ensure that we work closely with the relevant security agencies in Nigeria to ensure that our children are back home safely. And I'm also happy with the decision by the Inspector of Police to quickly deploy mobile base in our Kuriga community.
The Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Tanko Sununu, said the incident is a setback for educational institutions in the country.
Unfortunately, what has happened within the country is not a conventional war. It is an insurgency which you cannot predict and always been targeted to soft spots. And unfortunately, soft spot in Nigeria happens to be educational institution. And it is our belief that what we have right now, the over 20 million out of school children, which Mr. President prioritized in the 8-point agenda to get them back to school, the attack on school is a major setback. And we quite believe that all effort must be done to arrest this situation.
Kuriga school children have been in captivity for almost a week. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In Adama State, the police command has arrested 15 suspected criminals. The suspects were found in possession of 4 sharp daggers, 3 knives, 2 handsets, 19,000 naira, and a quantity of hard drugs, among other items. The names of the suspects, who are between the ages of 13 and 20, have been released to the public. According to a statement from the command's police public relations officer, SP Suleiman Yahya Ngoroje, the suspects were arrested during a patrol with vigilante men in the early hours of Wednesday, March 13. The police have launched an investigation into the activities of the gang members, adding that the suspects will be diligently prosecuted upon completion of investigations. On our to a sad development, 10 passengers on Monday died in a ghastly motor accident along Serti Bali Road in Taraba State. Reports say a Hummer bus conveying 22 passengers from Gembu to Jalingo were involved in the accident at Garbabi, located close to Bali town, when driver of the bus lost control at a corner near Garbabi town. An elderly woman with her 2 children was among the 10 passengers that died on the spot, while 8 other passengers inside the bus sustained serious injuries. Corpses and those injured were taken to Bali General Hospital. Similarly, 15 passengers were abducted at forest between Donga to Martuba Besa in Donga local government area of the state on Monday. The passengers, including women and children, were traveling from Zaki Biam in Benue State to Meihola town in Bali local government area of the state. It was learned that the passengers ran into a roadblock mounted by gunmen suspected to be kidnappers, and 15 out of the passengers abducted by the gunmen. Tragedy struck in Borno on Tuesday as fire gutted the Muna internally displaced persons camp in the Muna area of the northeastern state. The incident, which happened in the Muna Alamdari IDP camp in Maiduguri, led to the death of 2 children. As of the time of filing this report, the remote cause of the fire could not be ascertained. Also, the The Borno State Police Command or the state government were also yet to comment on the incident. Borno has been ravaged by the Boko Haram insurgency for over a decade, leaving thousands dead and many others displaced.
Three of us who had gone to the bush saw smoke billowing from the camp and quickly ran back to ensure that our children were safe. Some of our neighbors lost their children. The fire raised our foodstuffs. Right now, we don't have anything and we don't know where we will spend the night.
The fire started at about 10:11 a.m. As we speak, everything is gone. As you can see for yourself, there's nothing remaining. We appeal to the government to help us. We need support.
And on to labor matters in the health sector. The Association of Resident Doctors, Barao Dikko Teaching Hospital chapter in Kaduna State, has embarked on an indefinite strike to press home their demands. The striking doctors revealed that the Kaduna State government has failed to consider the payment of the medical residency training funds, thereby making it difficult for resident doctors to update their courses. Trustee Bello Musa has details of the story.
While also frowning at the government for not putting in significant effort with regards to sponsoring residency program and not inducting the Medical Residency Training Act, the resident doctors noted that there is poor remuneration for doctors in Kaduna State compared to other states and federal governments.
The first issue we have is lack of workforce. We have very minimal doctors available in the hospital, but the house officers, the resident, and also the consultant. And also when we look at the working environment, the equipments are very, very poor, not well maintained, and also the inadequacy of the services, the health services rendered within the emergency due to the decrease in doctors in the emergency. I think these are some. And then also we have the issue of medical residency training fund, which is a fund released.
And a resident doctor is expected to participate in an exam every year, either an update course, because that is why we are here. As we see all the patients, we also do our training, participate in exams, and pass so that you'll be a consultant. But you realize that a resident doctor who is supposed to at least take an update course twice in a year, like some of us will stayed, this is my 4th year, I've not taken one course. So you realize that the aim of the training is defeated. Yeah.
Patients who came to the hospital to see a doctor were left stranded at the hospital.
We brought our patient since morning and went to the outpatients department, but they referred us back to the emergency unit. We kept wandering here and there until they asked us to purchase a card, which we did. They only checked his blood pressure and then asked us to take him back home on the grounds that they can't treat him.
In his response, the CMD of Barao Dikko Teaching Hospital says they have medical consultants rendering services at the hospital at the moment.
Currently here too, with the coming of this new administration of His Excellency Senator Obasani, last year he paid the medical residency training fund for the first time. So now they are agitating for continuation of that medical residency training fund, especially the balance. He paid part of it last year, and then the balance of it, and then to subsequently to continue payment of that MRTF.
The strike left many patients with no option than to seek the service of other government or private hospitals in the state. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Small businesses in Abuja decry negative impact of declining power supply and operations. We'll bring you insights and details of this story and more after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that President Tinubu directs immediate reopening of Niger border. Plus, 10 abducted victims rescued in Zamfara as troops disband bandits. And now moving on to more stories. Experts in social and behavioral change have emphasized the need for Nigerians to imbibe national values as a way of fostering peace and unity. This, according to them, aims to lower structural barriers that hinder people from adopting positive practices and hinder societies from becoming more equitable, cohesive and peaceful. Newell Sampson, in this report, takes a look at what the government is doing to make every Nigerian imbibe national values.
From a psychological point of view, social behavior helps to promote emotional well-being, while those who look for order in the society as a whole believe social behavior is desirable generally, because it means that people will cooperate while systems can run effectively, hence the need for national values to be imbibed in every
all our issues, name them, kidnapping, insecurity, terrorism, whatever, you name corruption. They are all attitudinal issues. And it's for people to have the right kind of attitude. They must have values that they subscribe to. Unfortunately for us in this country, we have not evolved national values. Until we have national values that we all are defined by, we cannot continue to just talk about symptoms.
The federal government says it is taking steps to imbibe behavioral change among its citizens in partnership with relevant organizations.
So we are expecting the president by April will unveil the National Values Charter that the National Orientation Agency under the umbrella of the Ministry of Information and National Orientation have worked on. So the National Values Charter defines clearly who a Nigerian is. So we all expect that after the unveiling of this Values Charter, we understand clearly who we are and what the expected attitude from all of us are. So we can clearly say those who are misrepresenting us are not the real Nigerians.
It's a synergy that both the organizations bring together. Primarily our roles around social and behavior change, engaging with communities to kind of bring them, rally them together to access the government services, but most importantly to bring about lasting change for the citizens of Nigeria and especially for women and children of Nigeria.
Behavioral change can also engender more productive and successful outcomes in work and careers, leading to positive changes in communities and the world at large. Newell Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Epileptic power supply has grounded businesses in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, with those affected lamenting the negative impact on their operations. Speaking to Trust TV on Wednesday, welders in Abuja said they have resorted to the use of generators in order to remain in business as power supply has almost hit zero. Ibrahim Ismail has details of the story.
The persistent power glitches in Abuja have been attributed to vandalism of transmission installations, with severe consequences on artisans who depend on electricity to remain in business. 39-year-old Christopher runs a welding workshop in the Jabi area of Abuja, but the current blackout in Abuja is nearly pushing him out of business.
So at times you stay from morning till night, you cannot get lights. 2 days safe, you cannot get light. It's only at times they will bring it early in the morning, they will take it. So right now the thing is not strong. If there will be electricity right now constantly in Nigeria, at least it will reduce the hardship, it will reduce we using more of fuel.
Obinna and his colleagues are now compelled to spend funds beyond their usual budget to sustain their operations.
Every day we do spend more than 10 liters to 12 liters every day. And you know what it's worth, up to 10,000 naira every day to work per day. So it's too much for us. Inside the market, you may bargain 20,000 naira of work now. You go next 2 hours, it will increase. So we find it difficult for we to do our work.
We cannot make use of light because of the situation of the country. So the light is not, they no give us light. And the diesel we are using is expensive per liter. Before, we are buying 5 liter, 1,000 naira. But now, for us to get 5 liter now, it's 8,500. So the price is too much for us. Even it's affecting our work.
In addition to crippling commercial activities of Nigerians who struggle to survive the impact of the general cost of living crisis, the Abuja Blackout is making the city more hostile for the residents.
You don't know the difference between 12, 8, 9, 10. No light. If they bring the light, 30, if it's up to 30 minutes, you thank God. The next thing is off. Join this heat that we are passing through. Everything is right up. You can't say you want to come outside and relax. The same thing. So no light. I can. In fact, I will just give it 10 over 100.
Despite series of meetings between the federal government and the electricity distribution companies, it seems there is no end in sight with regards to the poor electricity supply in the nation's capital. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Away from Nigeria and to a sad development, 4 people have died and 1 person has been injured as Storm Filippo hit southern Mozambique's Ihambani province, according to state-owned broadcaster. Roofs were ripped off, schools and residential homes. In the tourist areas of Tofo and Bara, the waves have destroyed several boats. In some areas, the roads are inaccessible. Local authorities say the storm has disrupted electricity supply and communication lines. Storm Filippo continues to batter the province with intermittent rain and gusty winds. Its effects are already being felt in the capital, Maputo, and the area around it. More on the foreign scene. Migrants whose asylum claims are rejected by the United Kingdom will be given £3,000, that is $3,800, to move to Rwanda. The United Kingdom says it already has a plan in place which pays failed asylum seekers to return to their home countries. But the new measure targets those who cannot return to their countries of origin. Local press reported on Tuesday. The cash in exchange for moving to Rwanda is just another scheme in Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's ambitious plan to stop irregular migration. It does not replace the plan to deport illegal arrivals to Rwanda, which has been blocked by courts over concerns about the East African country's safety. To sidestep the court's concerns, the government introduced a bill which seeks to label Rwanda a safe country. For accepting to receive deportees, Kigali has so far pocketed $300 million from London. In sports, the Nigeria Football Federation is making efforts to hire a replacement for Jose Peseiro as Super Eagles head coach in April, following the departure of the Portuguese at the expiration of his contract. Over 20 coaches within and outside Nigeria have indicated their interest in the job since the NFF declared the post vacant and called for applications from interested football coaches. Feelers from the secretariat of the NFF in Abuja revealed that applications for the head coach of the Super Eagles have been pouring in torrents from a good number of Nigerian coaches and their foreign counterparts. Saudi Arabian football club Al Hilal have set a world record for a top-tier team by winning their 28th straight game in a 2-0 victory over Al Ittihad to reach the Asian Champions League semi-finals. Tuesday night's match at King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah was the second leg of the quarterfinal between the two city rivals. Al Hilal won the first leg of the quarterfinals by the same score to advance 4-0 on aggregate. The 18-time Saudi Arabian champions broke the previously recognized record of 27 straight wins set by the New Saints in the 2016-2017 season. And that concludes the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aisha Salihu. Join us again.